Oh, hi everyone. We just had a huge snowstorm here in New Jersey. The governor called a state of emergency. Therefore, my snow background. Welcome to my channel, Chat with Catt. I'm Kathleen Doty, and today I'm going to chat about something that everyone should make a daily habit. And the reason is because it makes a huge impact, but requires very little effort on your part. Minimal effort, huge impact. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what it is? Encouragement. Encouragement is amazing. And today I'm going to explain in detail what it is, why it's important, and how you can do it to make the greatest impact in your life and the life of others. Why, though, right? That's the question. Why should we encourage others? Words are powerful. Now, if you think that words are not that big of a deal, think back to when you were little and your parents or someone, your siblings, maybe a friend, said something to you. Some words were spoken to you that you still remember today as if they were just spoken yesterday. They have a huge impact on your life, whether negatively or positively. Now, if you can relate to that, then you've got to realize too that also that your words, something you spoke to someone, over someone way back in the day, they're still remembering. It had an impact on them negatively or positively. And so all that being the case, that being said, we realize words impact us, that we remember things from way back, right? And so if words can affect us that much and others, then don't you want those words to be positive? Don't you want your impact to be positive, or the way the words that you speak affect someone? Don't you want that to be in a good way, to make a positive impact on their life, right? Okay, well, so I mean, why? Why should we care, right? The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. Words are that powerful. The Bible also encourages us to encourage others. In Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians 5:11, the Bible says, therefore encourage one another and build each other up. And in Colossians 4:6, let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Now, I love that it specifies there each person, because it shows that everyone is special and unique and deserves to be given individual attention, individual words, because encouragement is not about having one line that you say to everyone like, you're awesome, dude. No, encouragement is not nonsense. It's not flattery. It's not dishonesty. It's about being genuine. And I'm going to go into detail in a little bit. My favorite word when I was growing up was courage. And I don't even know why, but what I did was I assigned that word to hugs and kisses from my sisters. And what I would do was I would ask them to give me courage before I left for school. And they would give me a big hug and kiss, and that was my courage for the day. And then at other times I would hug and kiss them and I would say, here's your courage for the day. What I was seeking from them, which I never realized in the form of hugs and kisses that I called courage, was actually encouragement. But I did not realize it back then. However, years later, I had an encounter in college, And I came to understand what encouragement was. And then that became my favorite word. And now something that I practice. I try to practice it daily. I'm going to share that story with you today, that encounter that happened in college. But before I do that, I want to go over the background of the word. The dictionary, the definition of encouragement is to inspire with courage. And the root of the word encouragement is from a French word, cure, C-O-U-E-U-R, from encouragement, which means for heart, or to put the heart back into someone. That's what we're doing every time we encourage someone. We're putting the heart back into them. We're helping them get excited again about their life or something in their life. So now I want to tell you the story, where it all started for me, the importance of encouraging words. So I was a sophomore in college. It was 1985. And this one day I was in my dorm on the 7th floor waiting to take the elevator down to the lobby. And it was taking forever because it was an orientation weekend. That's where high school seniors would come to the college to check it out, see if that's where they wanted to go. And so it was filled with high school students, and everything was taking longer than usual. So the elevator finally arrives, and sure enough, it's packed with high school girls, and they're all giggling and talking a mile a minute, joking around, except this one girl. She had her head down. She was kind of standing off to the side. And so when I came in, I stood next to her and introduced myself, and her name was Lisa. And I could see that she just seemed like she was down. So I asked her how the orientation was going, and she said she shouldn't have come and she felt like she was wasting her time. So I asked what she meant by that. And she explained that she knew she wanted to go to college, but she just wasn't ready. And I said, well, what do you mean you're not ready? And she said, well, she was fearful, that she was afraid that she would fail, that she wouldn't be able to keep up with the other students, that she was also afraid to leave home for the first time. And she just felt she wasn't ready for any of it. And that she believed that if she gave herself a year or more after she graduated, time to just stay at home, get ready, that after that time, she would feel ready. I then asked her what she wanted to study, you know, if she knew that there was something that she was interested in. She said, oh, definitely. She loved nursing. She said she always loved the medical field, the idea of helping families and patients through medical crises. And she said that since she was little, she would play with her dolls and she would pretend she was a nurse. And when she spoke about it, she was excited. I could see that that was really something that was meant for her. And so I listened, you know, and then I responded by telling her that we all have fears. Fears are lies that try to hold us back from our gifts and our calling and our passions in life. We have to just do it anyway. And I also reminded her that she knew what she wanted to do, right? A lot of people don't know, still don't know as adults, but she knew how she wanted to spend the rest of her life. She knew she was called to nursing. And I said, don't put it off. Get started on it right away. You know, life is short. Don't put off going to college. Just do it afraid. And then I also told her all the reasons she would love that university, the reasons that I loved it. And I just really encouraged her to not put it off, get started. She knew what she wanted to do, etc. And so at that point now, we're at the bottom, you know, we've come to the bottom floor. We're now in the lobby, and she's got to catch up with her group. And so she thanked me and she ran off. And that was the last I heard of her until 1 year later. I went to this dorm I never go to. Now, I know it wasn't a coincidence. I know that God had me go to this specific dorm on this specific day at this specific time. Because right as I entered the lobby, the elevator doors opened and out walked this group of girls, laughing, chatting. Their arms were filled with books. And there was one girl in front leading the rest. And she was bubbly and animated. And she looked familiar to me. And she looked up. She said, "Kathy, hi." It was Lisa. And we stopped to chat. And she said, "Look at me. I'm here. I did it." We both laughed. And she explained that she had taken my encouragement to heart. She didn't put it off. She went to college right away after her, graduation. And she said she had no regrets. She was in the nursing program. She was at the head of her class. She loved it. She was happy, excited, and looking forward to the future. And I could see that she was, her energy was completely different than the first time that I had met her. And she hugged me and thanked me for encouraging her that day. And she said, "I will never forget that conversation in the elevator. It changed my life." The important thing to remember here is that Lisa is not the only one who will not forget that conversation. I won't. I haven't. That conversation changed my life too. I'm now a person who teaches on the power of encouragement, how it makes a huge impact and requires such little effort on our part. And let me explain how it does that, what I mean by that. What did speaking those words to Lisa that day cost me? Absolutely nothing. A few minutes of my time in an elevator, right? But in that one encounter, as in any one encounter, a ripple effect occurs and many lives are affected. So number one, the person receiving the encouragement, the Lisas of the world, their life is set in the right direction. And when they pursue their dreams, goals, purpose, passions, the lives that they affect ripples out, right? All those lives that they encounter. The other students in the nursing program, the patients, the families of the patients, hospital staff. I mean, it's endless. So that's now two aspects, right? The person receiving the encouragement, the lives that they reach, then the one giving the encouragement, like myself. I gave the encouragement to Lisa. So now my life is changed because I want to pursue more opportunities to encourage and impact lives. So then there's all of the lives then that are affected by me going forward as I seek more opportunities. Then those lives, right? And who they touch after they hear how amazing encouragement is. And on and on and on. The ripple effect, encouragement, so much impact, so little effort, such great impact, such great ripple effect. How do we encourage? What does that look like? We need to be genuine. Okay, this is not just about giving compliments. This is about listening for that one thing that someone needs to be encouraged about. Now, often it will be words that encourage someone to take action. That action could be physical, like going to college, could be emotional, like forgiving someone, but often that's what it is. But there are also other things, like it could be encouraging someone to continue in actions that they're already taking, right? Letting them know they're doing a good job, that they're on the right track, thanking them like an employer to employee or anything like that. It could be words that encourage someone to try something new that they haven't yet tried. If someone's trying to figure out their purpose in life and they want to pursue that, encourage them to explore that, right? Sometimes it will be words that encourage someone to stop doing something that is not working for them. You really cannot go wrong with encouragement. And here's why. It's not giving advice. It is not coming up with something brand new or new information. You are simply being a good listener and responding to what someone is sharing with you. Views, ideas, beliefs, concepts that they've already explored. They just need a little push, a little encouragement. No one can get upset with you because you're not changing someone's views. You're simply encouraging something that they're already seeking or trying, pursuing. Number two, a sense of urgency should be expressed when you encourage others. You want to remind them that life is short, that now, right now, is the time to act. Don't put it off. That's just a lie that you're not ready. And three, being a stranger to someone that you want to encourage works to your advantage. We can all attest to the fact that when family or friends encourage us, it's just not the same. It doesn't hold as much weight, right? Like, let's say your mom says, "You're such a great painter. Let's call the Guggenheim." You're just like, oh, because moms think we're great, right? But if a stranger tells you something or encourages you, you take that more seriously. So don't let being a stranger to someone, hold you back from encouraging them, okay? All right, now why is it important? We already covered that the Bible tells us words are powerful, and it, encourages us to encourage others, right? So that's the number one reason. But here are some other reasons, because we live in a world that discourages us. Fear comes in and lies to us, tells us we can't, we're going to fail, we're not good enough, that we're not ready, just like it told Lisa, right? If we don't speak encouraging words to others, then all the Lisas of the world are going to let fear hold them back. And when that happens, we miss out on whatever that person's gifts, talents, or abilities are. Right? If Lisa didn't get into the nursing program, we would miss out on the amazing person that she's become and the lives that she's touched. Sometimes people just need one person to encourage them, and that person makes all the difference. Okay, you can be that one person to someone else. Here's how. Number one, you're going to pray that God will create opportunities for you to encourage. Pray that you'll be given the right words to say in that moment. As you listen, right? You want to listen for that one thing that they need to be encouraged about. And you want to speak the words. Ask God to give you the wisdom what to speak. How do you need to put the heart back into them? And then be aware of the opportunities, because they will come, and they're out there all over the place. So many people need to be encouraged. In closing, I want to say, unfortunately, I didn't stay in touch with Lisa, but I would like to believe that she is working in a hospital somewhere as the director of nursing and is impacting lives, families, patients, hospital staff, the lives of everyone that she encounters. I believe that. And you've got to know, though, understand that we're not always going to get to see the results, how a life or lives are affected by our encouraging words, but just know there is a ripple effect. Many lives are being impacted. And I want to challenge you this week, encourage at least one person and write about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear about the encounter, the experience. And there's this great quote I'd like to share. People will go farther than they thought they could when they know someone thinks they can. You be that person. Be the person to speak encouraging words that will impact someone, that will be the reason that someone follows their dreams, their goals, their purpose in life, and shares their gifts and talents with the world. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let YouTube know you want this biblical and godly, positive content. Until next time.